So this video is going to cover how to create a custom symbol. And so we need a source image for this. And I do provide you with one in JetNet. It is the bird image. So you'll want to launch Illustrator and open from Illustrator um, the bird image. There we go. It's rather small right now. We're enlarging it, holding down Shift, dragging that. And you'll notice that this is in pixel format. It is not a vector image, and it has a background. So the first thing we want to do is we want to image trace this. And one of the things you can do is go up to the control panel. And I like to do 16 colors because that captures everything that's needed under image trace. So they do get cut down a little bit. So you can adjust that as need be and do a Command Z to undo. You can actually go back in and sketch art, just see what works best. High fidelity photo might be best. That one seems close, but gives these weird little edges. Technical drawing, of course that does nothing, but you use your imagination with this. Obviously, you want to capture all the colors. I'm going to go with the low fidelity photo. Okay, and once you do that, there's your tracing result. And then after that, you're going to want to expand it. You see now you've got your paths. You also have a background. So we've got the selection tool. Let's click off of that. Then let's move into the direct selection tool. And I'm going to quickly try and capture that background. You see it. I didn't invisible box select any bird, but if I click off, I invisible box selected the background, which I'm now going to delete. It doesn't affect any of the birds. If it does, then you've selected too much. Now we have several birds that are all on their own. If you drag it back over the scratch board, you notice there's no white background anymore. So one of the things you want to do is we want to choose with our direct selection tool the bird that we're going to be using for this project. And I'm going to go ahead and say this blue bird is going to be it. So I'm actually going to select just the blue bird. And then I'm going to move to the selection tool. I'm going to do a copy, Control C or Command C, and then I'm going to deselect. I'm going to select all and delete. Now I'm going to paste, Control V or Command V. There we go. So now we just have this bird file, but it's all in little paths, so we want to make sure we group that. I'm also in the selection tool, invisible box select, go up to object, group. So now we can actually move this around as one unit, and it's only the one bird. So a little process goes hand in hand with that, but that is how you start to use one symbol from a file that you may have downloaded. I got mine from the 123RF images. I purchased a small image for that. Okay, so I did that, and the next thing we want to do is use the control panel to adjust the results of the tracing, which we did to manually edit the vector artwork. We don't need to do that. Now we're going to go into our symbols panel, which we've been working with before. And we want to click a new symbol from the panel menu. So let's go to, we want to make sure this is selected, and then we do, obviously, new symbol. Once you select it, it becomes available to you. Okay, type a name for the symbol. We'll just do blue bird. Select the symbol type as graphic, so not a movie clip. We're going to do graphic. And then next, click OK. Here we go. So now we have a symbol of that bluebird in there. It's added to the Symbols panel. Select the original image source on the canvas and delete it. So now we're going to select this and delete it. Click the Just Added Symbols in the Symbols panel to select it and choose the symbol sprayer in the Tools panel. So we want to select that and then go down to our symbol sprayer like we did in the last video. And you can adjust that by the left and right brackets in your keyboard as well. You can adjust the sizing of this. And then the next thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you test it out and go across the canvas with it. And there we have several bluebirds flocking and flying together. You can duplicate, edit, or delete a symbol using options from the Symbols menu. To duplicate a symbol, choose Duplicate Symbol. A copy of the symbol appears in the Symbols panel. So there you go. Got 2 of those birds. To delete an existing symbol from the Symbols panel, choose Delete Symbol from the panel menu. Delete symbol down here, or of course, you can do it here as well. And it will bring up this dialog box asking you, are you sure you want to delete it? Yes. And next, to edit a symbol, choose Edit Symbol from the panel menu or double-click the item in the Symbols panel. Double-click it, then it brings you into that isolation zone, and you're then able to edit the panel. And then, of course, exit, hit Escape. Okay, so next we're going to use the Pattern Creation tool, and that's going to be interesting, a little bit different. To start, we're going to do a new file for this, so go ahead and save this as File, Save As, Bluebird. Say that on the desktop. Okay. Into the folder where you're going to be submitting your exercise 1 for today. Go ahead and create a new document. And we're going to name it Pattern. Okay. Let everything default. You can close out of the Symbols panel, and you can go to the Selection tool. And we want to do a File New, name the document. We did that. Click OK. We're going to go to Window Symbols to display the Symbols panel again. We're going to click the Symbol Libraries menu button and choose the Symbol Pattern Library. So let's go to, Logo Elements. We'll do that. Bet you didn't know all of those existed. Pretty cool, huh? Choose one of the symbols from the library and then click the symbol to add it to the library. So add it to the symbol. So what we'll do is, let's say I'll just do the rocket. Double click. The new symbol appears in the Symbols panel. Select this just added object and drag it onto the artboard. Move this over here. Go and drag it. There we go. So now we're going to choose Object, Pattern, Make. Object, Pattern, Make. Several things end up happening. The Pattern Option panel opens. As well, a dialog box opens telling you that their new pattern has been added to the Swatches panel. And that any changes made while in pattern editing mode will be applied to the swatch upon exit. So you can say OK to close the dialog box. So you can see that the pattern tiles across the artboard according to the default settings, and that the pattern enters pattern definition mode. Pattern definition mode. Here we go. Pattern definition mode is a form of isolation mode in which you can modify new or existing patterns. It is similar to the symbol editing mode, similar to what we just reviewed earlier. While in pattern definition mode, you can add new objects to the pattern depending on the current pattern settings. Objects extending outside the pattern, the wrap back in front of the other side of the artboard. So dimmed objects will appear that are replicas of the original editable object. A rectangle appears around the original object's boundary right here, showing the pattern definition area. Okay, so next we're going to click the Tile Type pop-up menu to select a different repetition tiling option. We're going to go brick by column. You can see that change the pattern definition. Brick by row. You can see that change the tile type pattern definition. And grid. It automatically defaulted to grid. And then use the copies menu to select the number of grid copies that are to be included in the pattern. So maybe we only want 3 by 3. Seems a little more manageable. It's up to you, but that's another option. Or maybe you want 7 by 5, depending on what you're using it for. Give the new pattern a name and click OK. We'll do rockets, exclamation point. So the new pattern is saved into the swatches panel. You can see that here, rockets. If I hover, I accidentally had a capital O as well. So there we go. That is named and in the swatches panel. So we're done. So the next thing you can do is exit pattern editing mode. In the upper left corner here, you can either click on escape or the arrow to exit back in. Okay, so let's go ahead and select and delete the original object on the artboard. Click, drag the new pattern from the swatches panel onto the artboard. Click and drag. There we go. Pretty cool. Double clicking on the thumbnail on the swatches panel will return you to the pattern definition mode with an instance of the pattern available for editing in the artboard. For example, double click, there you go. So double clicking will not add it. Click and drag will add it. So go ahead and you can save that to the artboard or save this pattern document to your desktop. I'm doing Control S or Command S. Okay, and we're going to have one more video, and that's going to be creating a pattern using your own image, as well as we're going to import symbols and patterns and creating a graphic style. And I'll see you in that last video.